There's a story in the Gospels where an expert in the law comes to Jesus and asks what the most important commandment is. And Jesus, being a guy who tended to never answer a question with a simple answer, gave two. He said to love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself. At Benson Memorial, we believe that the best way to become love the way that Jesus talks about is to do so through regularly gathering, growing, giving, and going. And this Sunday, we're talking about gathering. So we asked some of you to talk about how gathering regularly has had an impact on you and your families. And a couple of people you're about to hear from gather in a particular way each week, which is by being a part of the choir. So here's what you had to say.
Hi, we are the Talls, Aaron, Lee, Wyatt, and Alice. We've been attending church for 11 years, and our children are 5 and 3. Church has affected us positively in a sense that we enjoy the calm and the peace of being here. We've been bringing our children to Big Church. They come and they absorb the things that Pastor Jeff and Pastor Kelly Lynn say, and they are occupied with their little bags of their lessons, and they are in the children's choir. And in our everyday lives, it is a reiteration of the kindness that you show to people and the peace, and that family is a lot larger than just the 4 of us that live in our house, or grandparents and cousins and aunts and uncles. And it has created quite the creative conversations with our children. I often come to Pastor Jeff and say, how would you answer this question when we're reading the books that we borrow from the church library? And it's not black and white, so it's teaching our children that it's not just a yes or no, or an answer is always the same to a question. They could be creative in their thoughts with it.
Singing in the choir, first of all, is like being with your family, because we see each other at least twice a week, and we know each other personally. We know families, we know backgrounds, and we keep up with each other. So for me, it has always been part of my family.
It really has been spiritually formative, personally. When I joined the choir, thinking about this a little bit, Ann had asked me a number of times, and I'd said, well, I'm too busy or whatever, and kind of avoided it. But finally, I kid her, I tell her that she caught me in a time of being soft, and I said I would do it. But I've gotten a lot more out of it than I expected. I mean, I've always loved music, but I've discovered that the choir is really a family. People really care about each other. They pray for each other. When somebody is sick, there are a number of people that will either send cards or go to their home. And I felt that personally, and it's really given me a lot more than I expected. I'm really, really happy.
Music has always been very important to me, so it is an integral part of my worship. It sets the stage for me personally to get my thoughts and prayers towards worship. And we hope that we instill that in the congregation, that we lead them in worship.